ain't tryna see your hand out. No freebies, better pay out. Y'all so cheap, man, we stay out. Feel like a breeze, don't play around. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. They left the whole crowd sleeping, and that's why you really gon' need me. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. They left the whole crowd sleeping, and that's why you really gon' need me.
Yeah, I've been on the road chill. 31, baby, living out my dream still. I just got off a tour, the product in store, I'm playing. I'll be rocking with the guy in the horse, yeah. You just hopped in the coupe, got lock in the shoes. I worship his Zeus, you not gonna shoot. I'm watching you do the cam base, where I'm blocking these fools. I got studio time, I got my watch in the booth, yeah. They be praying on my downfall. I'm an outlaw, switching pulls every stanza like Southpaw. How come your mouth off when y'all soft? No, you see me on the trampoline, about to bounce off, yeah. It's a matter of time, I know you see me standing in the front, back in the line. I happen to grind every minute, passing the time. We ain't never been friends. How you acting like mine? Y'all need contentment. Y'all got resentment. God's grace lead to repentance. You live for mentions that make me question how you gonna handle a gift if you don't know how to stew a blessing. You can't do it. You don't want a dream chase. You don't put your hands to it. You know the circle strong. 4th and 40 got a pun. No, I don't do what I want. I do it for the kingdom come. I ain't know that I was flowing. I ain't showing sign of slowing. I am going for the juggler, mate. The one to debate. But you seem to want it for free. I ain't doing video unless I'm gonna get paid. Yeah, I've been working on a gift. I ain't doing free shows. You can call me arrogant. You can call me what you want. It's really absurd. Just because you're the church doesn't really mean you don't have to pay me what I ain't worth. Woo.
I ain't tryna see your hand out. No freebies, better pay out. Y'all so cheap, man, we stay out. Feel like a breeze, don't play around. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. They left the whole crowd sleeping, and that's why you really gon' need me. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. They left the whole crowd sleeping, and that's why you really gon' need me. Y'all better pay for the CD. Y'all better pay to come see me. They left the whole crowd sleepy, and that's when you really gon' need me.
I need all the wins, yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get a no call and quits, yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets, yeah. Better move out the way cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick but I'm harder than all it is. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. My heart on my sleeve, stretch, shield my greed. That's how I get it, success ain't no giving. Some days I don't eat, I don't sleep. When I'm focused, I'm dangerous, they don't want it when I'm anxious. Ain't no limit till I tank, I'm running on fumes. The opposition don't amaze, the roads racing through the pavement. Get your hands out of my bag, I know that's because I've been in it. I don't need to brag, I guess that's what happens when you taking care of your business. But some family, you do the math. I'm out of my pocket, Houston, we got a problem. I ain't perfect, let them watch me elevating. Got them nauseous, cause I'm the pilot in the cockpit. Nose diving in the house and whoo. Watch how I get ahead, watch how I get ahead, watch how I get ahead. Watch how I set it up, bet you I shut it down, watch how I get a win. I don't think they really wanna come against the winner, got a finger run up in on a grenade. I ain't never been there when you think you compare. I'm a line, but the winner about the cage. I need all the wins, yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get a no call and quits, yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets, yeah. Better move out the way cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all it is. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out.
Ayo Jay, can we get some ratchet? Ayo Jay, can we get some ratchet one time?
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On a roll, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to this weekend's Sunday Sauce, half hour, 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour. We don't know what these live streams are, guys, but this is the Sunday Sauce. And shout out to Mama Candles. And I'm not talking about Captain Kirk, guys. I'm talking about my actual mother who sent me this t-shirt, guys. This is not in the merch store. I want to point this out. This is not in the merch store, at least yet. But guys, Mama Candles sent me this t-shirt, and I couldn't pay. She sent it to me yesterday, guys. I got it in the mail yesterday and was like, you have no idea how perfect your timing was with this shirt, Ma. Check this out, guys. Check this out. Check this out. Sundays are for sauce. Sundays are for sauce here, guys, and that is why we're here every single Sunday, sometimes live, sometimes with a pre-recorded tutorial, but that's why we drop this Sunday Sauce every single Sunday, because you guys know, especially if you're Italian, Sundays for sauce, guys. But thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys for hanging out with us today on today's premium. I always say premium. Why do I say premium? Today's Sunday Sauce live stream. I appreciate everybody for watching. Don't forget to smash that like button. Every 100 likes we get will get you guys a spin on the wheel of pain and pleasure. But we're going to spin the wheel tomorrow. But the likes from today will add up to tomorrow's spins. But guys, we got an awesome show for you today. Like I said, probably going to be closer to about 30 minutes. We're going to do a quick market update as Bitcoin is kind of just boring right now. Bitcoin's kind of just trying to find a range here. But the question is, are we more likely to get this dip to the downside as we've been staring at this kind of sideways range for quite some time now? Are we going to get that move to the downside, or are we going to get a quick spike to the upside, targeting that $46,000 naked point of control, which is our next target to the upside. Shout out to RTB. Hang on, guys. I'm messed up on my stream deck here. Shout out to RTB. Thank you for that super chat, bro. He said, Pattern Watchers checking in. Hello, Frankie and the gang. Shout out to RTB and the Pattern Watchers. Shout out to Tina from Traders Reality. I appreciate you guys for hanging out here on today's Sunday Sauce live stream. But guys, and hey, shout out to RJ. Says, what's up, brother? Thank you for everything. No problem, RJ. I'm here for you guys. This is what I like to do, and that's why we're here every single weekday and every single Sunday. But guys, I want to do a little bit of a market breakdown. I want to give you guys kind of an update on what I'm thinking about Bitcoin as we just kind of find this consolidation between about between about 44.5 and about 40,300. Are we going to break these lows, come down a little bit lower before our next leg up, or are we going to go grab some liquidity above sooner than later? We're going to be breaking it all down on today's live stream. But let's go ahead and continue on, guys. Let's say what's up to the Mafia really, really quick. I see you guys already popping off in chat. We got Candle Daddy in the chat. That's not my real father, guys. That's just Candle Daddy. He's everybody's Candle Daddy. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you for tuning in. We got Ian in the chat. What is going on, bro? Ian says says infinite hours. Shout out to you, bro. Like I said, these are supposed to be 30 minutes. It'll probably be closer to an hour, but we're going to try to keep it 30 minutes, guys. I'm going to try. Give you that quick sauce and get out of here. I know you guys have a busy weekend. Darren Does Things in the chat says that shirt is fire. Shout out to Darren. I appreciate you for being here and all the help you give us in that premium Discord. Thank you for tuning in, bro. We got Dave Digital in the chat, repping the Pattern Watchers, shilling that Tino Traders Reality emoji. Shout out to Dave Digital and shout out to Tina from Traders Reality. What is going on, Dave? John Vucci in the chat. What is going on, bro? Thank you for being here. We got Alpha Vision. Everybody Smile, who's looking for a bounce at 10K. Everybody Smile. Woo, baby. Come on, send it to 10K. I would not hate that, which comes to a surprise. Comes to a surprise for a lot of people. But yeah, shout out to you guys. Thank you all for tuning in. And without further ado, shout out to Vane. Says Saucy Sundays. What is up, Vane? But yeah, we got extra sauced out Sundays, guys. We're going to have to make a variation of this shirt for the live streams. I'm surprised we haven't thought of this yet. We're gonna have to wear this shirt every single Sunday on these live streams. But Donato Cabrera in the chat, I don't know what he said, but I'm sure he's like, Frankie, shut up and show us the charts. So I'm going to listen to Donato Cabrera. Thank you guys for tuning in. But let's go ahead and without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into these charts and see if we have any developments or if we're just going sideways. Let's check it. So here we are, guys, on the Bitcoin chart. V-Slim in the chat. What is going on, V-Slim? Thank you for being here, bro. Absolute OG of the Candle Mafia. Not that innocent. Shout out to you, bro. Heard you're not that innocent. But he wants to see Arkham. We could try to take a look at that in a second. Tyler Durden in the chat. Thank you for holding down the chat, Tyler. He says, I will assume my shirt was lost in the mail. Shout out to Tyler Durden. Or maybe it's at your front door. Shout out to Tyler Durden. And Tony D up in the chat with a super chat says, fun fact, if you remember on Tino's channel, they have added a Frankie Candles emoji. Look at that, guys. We swapped emojis. Shout out to the Pattern Watchers, man. Two awesome communities and two really great creators. Or at least I could say Tino's a great creator. Everyone can say what they want about me. I'm not going to say I'm a great creator. But anyway, shout out to Multisig Dummy, guys. But let's go ahead and jump on into the chart. What's up, Multisig? Hopping in here. Says, what's good today, Frankie? Well, Multisig, let's go ahead and get into it right now. So, obviously, guys, we got this move up. I am still in my short from the top here. Still holding that position. Profits locked in. Nothing new there. I'm not even going to really show the trade because it's just basically the same spot it was on Friday. But we have come up, right? We've rejected this not key level, but this very specific level that we were actually looking at for a potential rejection. The reason we were looking for a rejection at this purple box, guys, now this is stuff we talk about on the free live stream every single weekday. We were looking for a potential retracement from the lows here into our local golden pocket before getting another correction to the downside. Now, I did not take that scalp trade only because I am still short from the top. But the real question that everybody wants to know is, are we going to get a bigger move down here to some of these other key levels, or are we going to shoot up towards our next key level to the upside, which is sitting right here at about $46,000, or more specifically $49,974. And right here we do have a naked point of control. So you guys want to remember, right, with these MPOCs, not only are they strong levels of support and resistance, but they also act as a magnet for price. Just almost sneezed. Okay, that was a horrible feeling. I was like just about to sneeze and it just went away. But anyway, these naked points of controls do act as magnets for price, guys. So you have to understand that, we were talking about this on Friday, how I was basically sitting neutral on Bitcoin, expecting some more just kind of consolidation here, as there were not that there were no clear signals to go up or down, but there were kind of just mixed signals, and as in signals to go up and signals to come down, right? So we remained neutral. There was no clear signal to get a massive rip to the upside over the weekend or a massive dump. Obviously, we have not gotten any of that to happen because we weren't warned about it, right? It was just kind of neutral. So expecting this continued consolidation. Shout out to Thesis himself. I see you in the chat, bro. What is going on, Thesis? Thank you for being here. We got Anthony Soprano, or Tony Soprano, as I like to call him in the chat too. I see you guys popping in here. What is going on, guys? Thank you for tuning in. But we just kind of continue to consolidate, right? And the big question is, are we coming down, or are we going to come up and hit either 46K or even our golden target between 48 and 50K before a bigger correction? Now, to try to figure this out, guys, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the TA. We're going to zoom out to the higher time frames and try to figure out what is going on Market Cypher. So if we take a look at the weekly here, guys, you guys know this VWAP on the weekly is curving towards that zero line, looking for a crossover below it to print one of those infamous red dots on the weekly time frame. Now, once we get this red dot, this is, in my opinion, where we are more likely to see a more significant correction, right? And as you guys know, on Friday, I was talking about how this is going to be the signal that I'm watching this weekend. And here we are. Just staring at a chart that's not moving. And we do not have the red dot just yet. We do still have about 6 hours and 11 minutes to print another candle. So if we do wind up getting some kind of a dump today, and we do print that red dot, this is going to make it more likely that next week that we will see a bigger pullback. Now, if we do not get a red dot here, now this red dot could print at any point throughout the week as well. Keep that in mind. But if we do not get this red dot, guys, and maybe we get a little bit of support on the zero line and this VWAP bounces off the zero line again like it did right here, that's where we would be expecting a little bit more upside. But right now, we're still just kind of sitting in no man's land here with this VWAP. And locally, if we break down the lower time frames, we'll try to figure out the direction that we want to go. But you guys can see here, we don't have the weekly red dot, but we do have the 6-day red dot printing. We have the 5-day red dot confirmed. No bearish divergence there, but you do have the red dot confirmed. And then obviously your 4-day red dot confirmed. And then your 3-day and your 2-day red dots have been confirmed for quite some time. So basically, guys, as of right now, I am continuing to handle this at the same exact way we were looking at it on Friday, right? Like just kind of remaining somewhat neutral here. Now, we did come down here and bounce off a pretty interesting level. I believe we did have a naked point of control down here that we wound up bouncing off of right here. Came down, found support once, found support twice, found support for a third time. And you can even see here on the 2-hour money flow starting to try and creep back over into the green. Let's come on over to take a look at the daily real quick. I'm going to hide these levels so they're not as crowded here. But your daily VWAP, look at your daily VWAP just kind of falling down here, getting rejected from that zero line. So again, guys, kind of a messy chart when it comes to the indicators, right? The indicators are not really giving a very clear direction. And that's why we're keeping an eye on these key levels, because when with the levels that we look at, guys, based off the volume profiles, not only are they strong levels of support or resistance, but they also give us context into what price will likely do next. And that is kind of what I am shifting more of my focus to, as the indicators are clearly not really giving very clear signals. Right now, you do have your money flow coming out on the daily here, and then your 16-hour money flow is also just kind of continuing to trend to the downside. Your 12 and your 10-hour also trending down with your money flow. 8-hour money flow also coming down. And then you come on down to your 5-hour, your 6-hour, and your 4-hour. Clearly, this money flow is coming out. So when looking at these, and then your 4 hours pretty starting to dip pretty deep into the red here, right? So when you're looking at these medium hourly time frames, I don't want to lie, right? Like, I want to be honest with you guys. These medium hourly time frames, as far as money flow goes, in my opinion, would indicate more downside to come. However, with our MPOC target of $46,000 so close to us right now, we have to be careful. Like I was talking about on Friday, we have to be careful that price may want to get sucked up to that naked point of control. So again, I am pretty neutral right now. And medium time frames definitely look like they want more downside. But then you look at the daily, and this daily VWAP is only going to hang out below this zero line for so long before it winds up curving back up. So as of right now, guys, I am still sitting on my hands, and I am still, let me pull up, let me see. Am I logged into my Femex account? Let's see. Let me see if I might as well just pull up the trades. Nothing has really changed with them. I am still in the same trades that I was on Friday, but I am still holding them. So as of right now, guys, my plan essentially is remaining the same as Friday, right? Holding my short from the top, obviously still holding my long from down here, and just simply, waiting for, I would prefer a little bit more of a move down. I'd like to lock in a little bit more profits on my short, but I don't want to come up here and give you guys a clear signal like, oh my God, we have a rare bullish signal. We're getting a move to the upside. Like, I don't want to say that if I'm not confident, right? And when there's mixed signals like we're seeing right now on the chart, it's very hard to make these calls confidently, right? So when I can't give you a straight answer of, do we think it's going up or down? What I like to do is just show you how I'm handling this, right? Because, when you're in a market that is unclear to read, right, which is oftentimes a situation you find yourself in, this is a reality of the market, right? This is a reality of what you're trying to do. There's no way to really avoid this. These times are going to come whether we like it or not. So that's why I want to show you just kind of how I'm handling this. Like, I can't call for, oh my God, we're definitely going up, or oh my God, we're definitely going down, right? Because I don't feel feel comfortable saying that with the signals right now. But what I will do is show you exactly what I'm doing, right? So basically just holding my positions, right? If we wind up coming up, the same exact plan as Friday, guys. If we wind up coming up and taking these highs, and we will take a look at in just a second why this may be a possible scenario. If we do come up, simply we'll get stopped out of my short in profit, right? You can see my short right here. We're up over 100% or just about 100%. I already have a decent bit of the profits locked in. So if we wind up coming out, I'll get stopped out, make a few $100, no big deal. And then on top of that, this long will continue to pay me out, as well as my 2 other longs I'm in on my personal accounts. Those will continue to pay me out as well. So not only are we making money on getting stopped out of the short, but we're also making extra money on the longs continuing to play out. So just simply sitting on my hands in a really cushy position. I'm a short and long at the same time, just waiting for one to get stopped out in profit. And then obviously down here, still holding this XRP trade, guys. I will not let them stop me out of this trade. And if they do, I'll just hit that reverse button and switch this short to a long. No, I'm just kidding, guys. I don't typically use the reversal button, but it is kind of convenient. I never really talk about this. Like these, a lot of exchanges do have this now. Femex added it a while ago, so you can actually just reverse this position live. So like if you start pumping, right, and you just wanted to be like, you know what, things are looking bullish. I don't want to get out of my position. Let's just flip it to long. You can click that reversal position, and it'll just reverse your short to a long or your long to a short, which is pretty interesting. Again, I haven't used it that much, but it is a nice little feature if you ever did want to do that. It's a nice little one click. Woo! I just almost clicked that. Oh my God. But yeah, this is my Bitcoin. Oh no, this is my Bitcoin short. Okay. But anyway, that's how I'm handling the trades right now, guys. Simply just holding both my positions in a very cushy kind of situation here. If we come up, cool, we make money. If we go down, cool, we make money, right? Like I said, I would prefer a move to the downside first, just to, again, because I'm so up on my long right now, I'd like to capitalize on the move to the downside. But again, locally here, guys, there were some local signals to get some kind of a bounce off of this level, right? We obviously had our lower lows into that key level, right? This is what we like to see with the bullish divergences or bearish divergences, right? You like to see those lower lows on your price action into that key level of support, right? That is a key part of this. You don't just want to blindly long bull divs. You'll quickly realize that you're going to get wrecked pretty bad, right? But then we got a nice little bounce off this MPOC. But really, other than that, guys, I'm simply just letting price action play out for the rest of the weekend. And, coming down to some of the, let's take a look at the 4-hour fresh green dot printing here. No bullish divergence, but you did get that fresh green dot. Your money flow is technically coming to the upside here, just locally, right? That's nothing to really write home about. It's just locally cocked up here a little bit. It could easily come back down. But really, guys, what I would look for, let's talk about a move to the upside, right? If we are going to get that move to the upside, what can we keep an eye on? Well, number one is I want to pull up the liquidation heat map. Now, you guys can see here, obviously, let me go ahead and let me just go ahead and zoom in here a little bit. So as you guys can see here, we have a lot of liquidation levels up here above these highs. Now, this high is sitting at about 44,800, and just above that, we do have a whole lot of liquidations, likely from the people who were shorting the top here. I am part of that liquidity. Now, I don't think my liquidation level is this low, but I am short from up here, right? And likely so are a lot of people in the market. So all these people's stop losses and liquidation points are likely going to be sitting at this level. Now, I'm also going to pull up the live trading view chart to look at the liquidation levels on that chart as well, because I actually prefer to look at it on the trading view chart just so I can move around the chart and like zoom in and stuff. It's a little bit easier to look at everything. I'm going to turn off the low leverage liquidations here because I'm not really focused on those. I just want to see the medium and high leverage liquidations. And you can see, right, we do have some medium leverage liquidations sitting down here. But if you look above, guys, these highs, right above these highs, we do have a pretty significant pocket of liquidity, right? Like we have high leverage liquidations here, and then you have all these medium leverage liquidations sitting above these highs and even above these equal highs right here. Now, you guys will know that this was something we were looking at the other day, or I think on Friday, saying, hey, there's likely anytime you see equal highs, right, or a range, typically there is liquidity built up above and below those highs, right? Because, and that's simply just based off people trading, right? Like if people are trading this range, they are likely going short from the bottom. I'm short from the top, right? They're looking to short the highs, right? And then on the opposite end of that coin, right, you also have people trying to long the lows, right? So what does that do? Well, it puts a lot of stop losses above and below that range, right? So all the long people's stop losses are below the range, right? Like obviously all in different places, depending on their, trading plan and risk tolerance and stuff, right? But likely there's a lot of stop losses below these equal lows, and there's likely a lot of short stop losses above these equal highs, right? I'm not going to draw them all out. I think that makes a lot of sense to people, right? Or it should make somewhat significant. It should be able to make sense, right? A lot of people, if you're short from here, looking for price to go down, your stop loss is going to be above the highs, right? Or above, again, people shorting this high, people shorting this high, people shorting this high. Their stop losses are going to be above, right? Same thing with the people long. Their stop losses are going to be below these lows, right? So what does that basically mean? That means that we can look for trades where that liquidity is, because we know price is attracted to liquidity, and we know what to look for as price comes up and stop those people out. We know exactly what to look at for a reversal back to the downside, and that makes for a really, really good strategy to get into trades, right? So with that being said, and we're just using this high block liquidation chart to visualize these liquidations just on the chart, right? Like you could not show these liquidations, right? We could hide all these liquidations. I'm not going to do it because it's going to waste time. But we could hide all these levels and just assume like, hey, where are people's stop losses likely sitting? And they're probably sitting above these equal highs, these equal lows. There's likely liquidity up here. But by looking at this chart, we can actually see what kind of liquidations there are. So this dark red bar is high leverage liquidations. These lighter red bars are medium leverage liquidations, and the red bars are short liquidations, and the green bars are long liquidations, right? So typically when we approach these levels, you could expect people to start getting stopped out and liquidated, which would put pressure on the opposite end of the market, right? So if you're stopping out the shorts, when you get stopped out of a short, or when you get kicked out of a short, right, it basically creates a market buy, right, putting upward pressure on the market. So once we start tapping these levels, you want to be careful of these big wicks to the upside, right? But this is what we look for potential reversals back to the downside, and this is exactly how I caught the trade from the top here. The short position that I took up here on Bitcoin was all based off this exact same theory. We had liquidation levels sitting up here and a lot of stop losses, and we were simply looking for a swing failure pattern, which gave us that entry to get into this fire short position, right? So very, very similar situation, but there's two areas where I'd be looking, right? Above these highs, right? Because we just looked at the heat map, which is the same thing as these liquidation levels, guys, but just displayed in a different manner. That heat map gives you a much more detailed analysis of where those liquidation levels are. These are more kind of generalized local areas, right? So again, above these highs is kind of where I'd be looking at. Right, these high leverage liquidation levels, this might be a number you want to write down on your chart because again, at $43,650, if you know there's high leverage liquidations, as price, I mean, this is the sauce, guys. If price, this is the Sunday sauce. This is what Sunday sauce streams are for. But as we creep up towards these liquidation levels and we tap them, you could say, well, hey, once we get up to $43,650, I'm expecting a lot of people to get liquidated. So I'll look for a quick move to the upside before a quick potential reversal back to the downside. Now, obviously, you have to know what confirmations to look at. We talk a little bit more about that in the premium Discord, but there's many things you can look for up here, right? Bearish divergences, as a, kind of a beginner confirmation to look at, but you want multiple levels, right? But these liquidation charts just really help us identify where this liquidity is sitting, right? And I want to be clear, these are not guaranteed levels. These are all aggregated estimations, right? These are not perfect. The second you touch this level, you're going to get the liquidations. We just know they're in this area. So keep that in mind. This is also aggregated liquidations, so this is not just looking at Bybit liquidations or anything. It's actually looking at aggregated liquidations between a whole bunch of different exchanges, right? So with that being said, coming back up here, right, basically kind of how I would handle all this is if we do wind up, right, and I'll actually pull up the heat map again because I think that heat map gives us a really, really good kind of visualization of where those actual liquidation levels are sitting in a more granular level. So let's pull it up here really quick, and we'll come to the 1 month, and then we will zoom in just a bit. Let me just run that. And here we go, right? So we'll zoom in again right here. And again, those liquidation levels on the heat map are more specifically sitting between 44.8, right? And or actually, hang on one sec. Let me just pull this up real quick. So 44.8 are these highs up here, right? And to be quite honest with you guys, let me pull the heat map back up. To be quite honest with you, we do have liquidity sitting above these local highs as well, as we were looking at on the trading view liquidation chart. But the real liquidity is sitting up here, 44.8 all the way up to about 45.8, right? Or maybe say 45.9. So And this makes a lot of sense, right? Like, why does this make so much sense? Simply because when we look for swing failure patterns or liquidity grabs, or we look for liquidity to get taken in the market before a big reversal, you want to see where the most liquidity is sitting. And oftentimes that liquidity is sitting above the most high, right, and the low, right? So if I were looking at this kind of range and, looking to see where I think the most liquidity is sitting, I would just automatically, without even looking at a liquidation chart, I would definitely mark out these two levels, right? I'd be looking at the high right here, looking for understanding that there's probably a lot of people short from this level, right? And all their stop losses are above, right? So if we come up, I'm expecting people to get stopped out and liquidated. And if I get my confirmations, I can look for the reversal back to the downside if we get that liquidity grab setup that we oftentimes look for. And then the same thing to the downside. If we wind up coming down here and breaking below 40,181 and we wind up getting a swing failure pattern or a liquidity grab that we look for, that's where you can look for the reversal back to the upside. So, and then when you pull up the liquidation heat map, you could see you could see, right, like hot yellow down here, hot yellow up here, because that is where most of the liquidity is sitting. And this is oftentimes how I view the market, right? Because chances are, if you have a hot spot of liquidity above and a hot spot of liquidity below, one of those is going to get taken before reversing price to the downside. As I knock this hat right off my head, the sauce is hot, baby. The sauce is hot. Let's go. Shout out to the Candle Mafia. Smash that like button if you guys are learning anything on tonight's live stream, or if you like babies or puppies, smash that like button. If we get 500 likes on today's live stream, which we're coming to the end of here, 500 likes, I'll give away $100 of XRP on next week's giveaway to one lucky Candle Mafia member. Or actually, it'll be $100 of ADA, not XRP, because if we give away XRP, you have to hold XRP in your wallet for it's annoying. We're just going to send you Cardano because it's easier. But 500 likes, and we give away $100 of Cardano to one lucky person. But this is basically how I'm viewing the markets, right? And again, this is part of the reason why I wasn't really expecting anything that massive. If we had a clear bullish signal for a push to the upside, I'd be looking for a push up into this liquidity before a potential reversal. And this isn't much different than the plan that we've been talking about on the live stream for quite some time, because as you guys know, we've been looking at this basically as, let me pull this range that we've been looking at up here, right? We have this local range sitting up here, and not only were we looking for the reversal at this golden pocket, but what happens when you pull one of these fibs, right? You have your 786 is sitting up here at about 43,756, right? And we've come down, retraced into our golden pocket. Are we going to shoot for that 786? Potentially. And if we do, we actually have a lot of confluence in here to look for another potential rejection to the downside. We have a weekly level, we have a weekly naked point of control, and just above that, we also have a fresh daily level of resistance, right? So there's a lot of resistance up in here. And again, if we wind up pushing up and we do not reject this purple box, that's where I'd be, more specifically, if we're able to break above this daily at 44,193, that's where I'm looking for all that liquidity we were just looking at on the heat map, just so everyone understands this is what we're looking at right above these highs. Right above these highs. We know there's a lot of liquidity, so if we push up, and look what we have above us, guys. This is very interesting, and I'm honestly just seeing this right now. If we do wind up pushing up, right, so we know that there's a significant amount of liquidity above these highs, right? So if we wind up pushing back up and we get above this daily and we start liquidating and stopping out all these shorts, right? Now, unfortunately, I would be part of the people getting stopped out here, but because I managed my risk correctly, I'm going to get stopped out in profit, right? But if we start stopping out and liquidating these people, we can expect to see pushes to the upside, and we actually do have two very nice levels of resistance above us. We have a clean monthly level or a fresh, untapped monthly level of resistance, and we also have the naked point of control of $46,000. So simply put, guys, it's an if this, then that statement, and I'm going to spit the sauce right now before I let you guys go. Simply put, trading is an if this, then that statement. Right now, my if this, then that is if we come up, I understand the plan that we just talked about. There is liquidity above, right? So if we get a move to the upside, I'm going to be using that information to make my next decision. And likely that decision is going to be, if we stop out all these people, this is my next major area of resistance to look for another scalp short. Because remember, we're treating all the shorts as scalp positions until proven otherwise, because we're in a very strong bullish trend. And when you're in a strong the trend is your friend until the end. So you don't just want to be going for these Goblin Town bound shorts at every single high when you're in an explosive uptrend like this, right? Now, again, this is likely going to cool off at some point. So kind of how I've been approaching the market lately is If we get a push into resistance, I look for the short position, I enter the short, I take profits on the way down, move my stop loss to break even. It is then a guaranteed winning trade. This is the only way you can guarantee a winning trade, right? You can't just get into a trade and be so sure that price is going to go in the direction you think that you could be like, I'm guaranteed to make money here. There's always a chance that the market's going to surprise you and you're going to get stopped out, no matter how strong the analysis is. But once you get into a position, you lock in profits and move your stop loss to your entry point. Literally, there is no way to lose this trade unless your stop loss doesn't get triggered, right? Which sometimes does happen, but very rarely, for me at least. But and then if you get stopped out, you get stopped out and you get your profit and you lose no money, right? You actually make money. So that's how we're handling the shorts. We come up, I look for the scalp, I take profits, move my stop loss to my entry. If this was the top and we are going to nuke down to, in my opinion, the lowest I would think locally we could go is like 37K, right? And then once we start breaking those levels, we'd have to assess the situation. But, if this was the top and we are going to dump from here, we are literally short from the top of the market. If we come back up and we tap these next levels of resistance, cool. We get stopped out in profit, win the short, and our longs continue to pay us out. And then once we get up to this next level of resistance, we can look for another scalp short. And if that scalp short turns into an absolute nuke to the floor, we are short from the top. And if you manage the risk correctly and you come down and you take profits as you should be with moving your stop loss into moving your stop loss to break even, you are then protected on that short again. And then if you get stopped out of that short again and you come up to the even higher target between 48 and 50K, you'll win on that short again, even though you technically got stopped out, but you'll make money. And then you can look for your next setup up at the golden pocket, monthly naked point of control / value area high of this macro range, right? Now, let me actually just pull this up. Let me show the clean levels here. Let me actually just delete all these brushes. Bada boom, bada bing. And then let's go ahead, turn off the next targets, and then we're going to go ahead and turn on our macro volume profile, right? So obviously, guys, this is, and let me hide some of this. Let me hide some of this. Let me hide some of this. Let me hide this, and then all these as well, right? So I'm hiding everything except for the macro range. Now, remember, guys, our major target here is still going to be the value area high, golden pocket, naked monthly point of control between 48.3 and 50K about, right? So that is still our macro target. And just like I said, on these pushes up, we look for the scalp short. You make money on the scalp short, stop loss to break even, guaranteed winning short. Oh, no, we got stopped out. We'll just look for the next level of resistance. Short this. Now we're profits locked in, stop loss at entry, guaranteed winning short. What happens if you push up? That's fine. You make money. And then you look at the next level and you're just making money on these small pullbacks while simultaneously making money from our short position entered all the way down here, right? So we're literally cashing out no matter which way price goes because literally this has nothing to do with us being the best analysts or me being the best trader or best analyst. This literally has more to do with risk management, right? Like it's the boring stuff, guys, that is important, right? It's not the sexy stuff where it's like, oh, look for this signal and then we're going to the moon. You're going to make a ton of money. No, the money isn't managing your risk. It's more about preserving your capital than it is about chasing trades, right? You're going to lose money chasing trades. You're going to make money over time preserving your capital, right? You have to defend your money and try to extract as much as you can from the market, but it's not easy. And that's why we approach the markets like we do. So if we get another push up, the only difference here, the only change in that plan, guys, is if we come up to this macro level. I will be looking for shorts, but this is the first level up here, not the level I just looked at between, at around 46K, right? Remember that 46K and POC and then that monthly level just below. That's like right over, that's like right in this area. I'll look for scalp shorts in that area, but once we come up here, guys, this is where I am willing to look for a bigger short position and potentially even if I get signals to enter a short, I will enter it here on lower leverage, right? And then even if we start breaking highs, I will simply add to my position. I'm going to be adding to my short all the way up until the 786. If we start flipping this 786 and we start getting bullish signals, that's where I would be willing to take the loss on that trade, say, hey, I'm going to get stopped out on a loss on this one, and then we'll just look up for higher prices. But as of right now, guys, this macro golden pocket 786 retracement without any of the confluence, without the value area high, without the monthly naked point of control, and I'm going to show it to you guys right now. Without this naked point of control, without this being a value area high, just looking at, take off the MPOCs, take off the monthly levels, just look at it as a golden pocket. This is just looking at the raw price action here, guys. Again, no tricks, no nothing. Pulling your fib from the all-time high all the way to the current bear market low. This is, if I was only able to use Fibonacci retracements for trading, if somebody stole everything off my trading view and I had lost access to every other tool except for Fibonacci tools, I would be looking at a retracement like this saying, hey, this is, if we came down and this is a macro retracement, where is price likely to reject? It's likely to either reject at the golden pocket or at the 786. And if not that, it's likely to reject somewhere in the middle of this. We typically look at these as rejection zones, right? If you guys watch my show, you'll know that this is oftentimes where price likes to put in lower highs. So even if I was looking at no levels of confluence, just looking at Fibonacci levels, it doesn't guarantee you're going to get up there, right? Like oftentimes the market will trick you and just dump from here. But again, we're short from the top if that happens. And if not, we will get a stab at potentially taking a short at this more macro level. And again, it's not about knowing that we're going to come down from here. We don't know. It, in my opinion, is very likely to come down from here, especially because we actually do know there's a lot of confluence here, right? Now we pull up. So here you go. Golden pocket 786 retracement. That's where lower highs typically come in to give you a push to the downside. But on top of that, obviously, you have the value area high of your range sitting right there. And then you start to look at the monthly levels, and you have a naked point of control. And then you have another monthly level very close to that as well. So things start to stack up here, making it even more likely to reject from. But if you push up, I'm adding. And then really, it's probably not until we break the 786 or this monthly up here at about 60,850, which I can't even believe I'm mentioning prices in the 60,000s right now. Like, it feels like 2 days ago that we were in the teens, but that's how quick the market can move. And it is funny, guys. Like, if you look, I don't know if any of the mods can find this. Don't kill yourselves trying to find this, but we put a video out not too long ago, and it was a Bitcoin deep dive. And I think it was when we were like down here playing around with this level right down here, talking about what the next likely move for Bitcoin, or not what the next likely move, but what the rest of the bear market would likely look like. And in that video, we literally talked all about this macro golden pocket and the fact that we could potentially be entering this value area. And if we were able to do it, it would be very likely to come up to the POC and then the value area high getting close to 48K. And I think in that video, I literally say, guys, don't kill me in the comments. I know I'm looking up towards 48 to 50K. I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow, but this could be what the rest of the bear market looks like. And as time went on, we see the exact thing happen. And I want to be clear. This is not because I'm the best analyst or only I know how to do this or I'm better than everyone else on YouTube or I'm better than you guys. It has nothing to do with that. And it has everything to do with these volume profiles and what we teach for free every single weekday right here on the Frankie Candles live stream. So I don't want anyone thinking that like me referencing that video is me bragging at all. It's me trying to teach you guys the power of these volume profiles. And if you trust in your TA and let time go by and price action develop as it wants to, as long as you have sound TA, oftentimes you will see what you're looking for to play out. So yeah, I recommend you guys go check out that video, not to show I'm right, but to look at what I was looking at, right? Look at me making that video months ago, right? When we were all the way down here where, 48 to 50K still felt super far away, especially as we were pulling back here, and then understand the analysis I did. And then you could kind of sit back and be like, oh, look at that. Time did go by. We did get accepted into the range, and we did start to fill it all the way up. And again, I think even in that video said I feel crazy calling for these prices, guys. But like, if this happens on the chart, that's what's likely to happen, whether I like it or not. And that's exactly what happened. We went up, and we're almost completely done filling this range. And we have also compared this, guys, to 2019, where we had something very similar happen, where we had the macro golden pocket tap. Now, I know I look at this all the time, but I mean, if we were looking for a retracement at this point in the market, guys, and we were in a big bear market rally, where would we be looking for price to come up and reject from? I would simply be looking at the golden pocket 786 retracement. No value area highs, no naked point of control confluence, not looking at any of that, just looking at the golden pocket 786 retracement. And in this particular scenario, obviously, we got to move to the upside, and we wound up getting the perfect rejection from that golden pocket. You even bearishly retested it, right? So you came up past the 6.5, and then you come up and bearishly retest the 6.18 before getting the big rejection. Now, we could have come up to the 7.86. That's just not what happened. So we're in a very similar situation here, right? Now, I'm not saying that we are guaranteed, to reject the golden pocket, and there's going to be some kind of magic black swan that happens a few months later that gives us the big nuke to the floor to give everybody a second opportunity to get into the market. That is obviously unpredictable because this was obviously based off of that thing that happened in March of 2020 I won't speak of. But, that is is essentially what we're looking for. And like we've seen this stuff happen, right? Like, and Bitcoin is a fan of repeating history. It doesn't mean it's guaranteed. But again, a lot of this prediction was based off what happened in 2019 and the fact that we knew on a technical level, if we broke above these levels, we would likely shoot up to our next key level, which just happened to be the macro golden pocket. So we are basically just seeing price play out as we would expect, guys. But that's how I plan to handle this, right? Again, if you just tuned in, scroll back to the beginning. I talk about my local trading plan and what I'm looking to do here. But other than that, guys, just keeping an eye on this weekly red dot. I think that weekly red dot is likely going to be the thing that gives us the bigger move down if it winds up printing and confirming. But right now, it's just a waiting game, right? We got 5 hours and 42 minutes left to have that happen. But that's basically my plan on Bitcoin. And then, yeah, we're going to reassess the situation on Monday, and we'll see what happens, right? Like, weekends are typically pretty low volatility for the most part. A lot of people aren't trading, right? The big institutions aren't, big boys aren't moving their money on the weekend. So pretty low volatility, mostly retail or all retail trading on the weekend. So, but with all that being said, guys, let's go ahead and check in on chat real quick. How long have we been going for? And there we go, 44 minutes. I knew it wasn't going to be a half-hour stream. Dang it! Dang it! Got the black coffee over here for Mr. Jimmy Two Shoes. Shout out to Jimmy Two Shoes, my paisan. But let's see. What do we got? Let's see. Yeah, shout out to Dapper Dan, says shakeouts before the breakouts. That's what I'm hoping for. I think in my video, I highly recommend you guys Bitcoin Deep Dive. Shout out to Tony D. Just dropped that link to the video. Talk about the Black Swamp. Yeah, it was Tony D. You just took that out of my mouth, dude. Yeah, in that video, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure I even talk about, now we haven't seen this happen, right? This might not happen. But what I'm saying is what we were looking at was a potential fill of this range, right? And then we even talked about maybe coming up here or here, and maybe we get some kind of a crazy Black Swan that brings us back down close to the lows, right? That, maybe we see the same thing happen. You get a pre-halving pump, pre-halving dump, and then you kind of just accumulate into the bull run, right? And then the parabolic bull run starts after the halving. So yeah, shout out to Tony D. Thank you for the super chat. He says, in this video, you talk about a Black Swan potentially bringing us up to the high at 40K region. Yeah, okay. And then I think we also talk about a potential Black Swan bringing us all the way down back to the lows. But yeah, what was that Black Swan? I guess, maybe it wasn't a Black Swan, but ETF news, right? Like ETF has basically just been carrying us through this whole range. But remember this, guys. Remember this. If we did not know any of the news, if I did not know there was an ETF or anything, I would simply have had the same exact trading plan because of the value area. When we were sitting down here, guys, I would still be like, hey, if we get above this level, regardless if the ETF news came out or if it was, Elon Musk, whatever the news was to get us through this area, it does not matter. All we're doing is simply looking at the TA saying, hey, we flipped this key level of the value area low at 28.8K to support. Chances are we will eventually fill this whole range, right? It doesn't matter what the news is. ETF was kind of the narrative here, but it could have been anything, right? Could have been whatever. U.S. government, adopts crypto mass, whatever it is, right? We don't care what it is. We expect the same thing just based off the charts. Show me the charts, and I'll tell you the news every single time. Every single time. It doesn't matter what it is. And we show this all the time, right? I'm not saying news doesn't move the market. I'm not saying if a crazy news story comes on, it's not going to affect the market. It 100% will. But we could typically see that stuff happening before the news comes out. So there you go. All right, let's see. Shout out to Hypnotize. Thank you for that super chat, bro. I appreciate you. He says, goat out to everybody, up 300% on File and any TP zone. We could take a quick look at Filecoin. I wasn't going to look at altcoins today. Just a quick little Bitcoin update. But I will just for you. I will do that, Hypnotize, no problem. Up 300% on Filecoin. I will say this. You've come up, which I believe this is the level that we were looking at on Filecoin when we were analyzing it last week. I don't know if that had anything to do with your trade or not. Not that you should ever trade based off of what some crazy guy on YouTube says, but here you go, right? Where we came up, we tapped that value area high as you would expect. Why would you expect that? Simply put, maybe I shouldn't give away all the secrets. We give it all away here on the Frank Candles YouTube channel, guys. You flip that value area low to support. You look for a move to the POC, flip the POC to support, and where are you looking to go next? Let me know in the chat where you're looking to go next. Where are we going next? Creighton C. Where's Creighton C when you need him? There we go. Shout out to IN. Shout out to IN. You're looking to go. There it is. There it is. Value area high. 44K. Let's go. Fill that wick. Let's go. Shout out to 12 Big. But yeah, absolutely. Once you hold that POC, you are looking to get up to your value area high. And what happened? Price simply just yeeted up there, flipped this to support, shot right for the value area high. Beautiful little move. So, in my opinion, shout out to Hypnotize. I would have been probably looking to take profits just before that value area high got hit. But here's the thing, right? Fresh green dot printing on your daily. So not impossible to continue up here. So I'm not saying that just because you tapped your value area low, you're going to nuke to the floor. It actually doesn't look too bad. Money flow and coming up and fresh green dot on your 3-day. This is not the daily, so the 3-day. In a way, it makes it more of a strong signal, right? So then your 2-day, VWAP starting to roll back over. You could, so the only thing that would have me a little bit worried here is that you are looking to potentially print some bearish divergences on these higher time frames, right? Higher highs on your price action, lower highs on your momentum waves. If we pulled up Lux Algo, you don't have it printing just yet, just because the price action hasn't moved farther enough along for it to get confirmed. But eventually, once this winds up rolling back over, you will get that bearish divergence likely printing here on the 16-hour. The daily, daily even already has one confirmed here, but you're probably going to confirm another one once this candle closes. And then your 2-day probably getting that bear div, 3-day getting that bear div. So I would be a little bit careful, right? I would be a little bit careful of that bearish divergence at the value area high. But here's the thing. Looking at the higher time frame money flow, right, indicating the longer-term trend. The money flow indicates the long-term trend. The red dots and the green dots indicate the noise in the market, right? Remember that, guys. This is like one of the most important things. If you learn anything from me, I would recommend you, this is one of the big things you learn, right? Red dot, green dot, right? And I'm not trying to line them up with them down here, but I'm just showing you like how I interpret it, right? This would be a green dot, red dot, green dot, red dot, green dot, red dot, green dot, red dot, right? Red dot, green dot, red dot, green dot, red dot, green dot, red dot, green, right? So that's the noise in the market. But the money flow, see, money flow coming out here is indicating that you're likely going to get a long-term trend to that direction, right? So in this case, a trend to the downside. But right now, we're seeing quite the opposite here on the higher time frames. Like, look at this weekly money flow, looking across into the green. Even if you get a red dot in the weekly, it's likely going to be red dot, and then this money flow crossing into the green is likely just, because of the money flow coming up, that red dot would likely be to come down, put in a higher low, and continue to the upside to begin a longer-term trend, especially if that money flow crosses over into the green, right? So that's what we'd be looking for. So that is kind of what you have on your side. I don't know what kind of trades you got into, Hypnotize. So, if you're in a longer-term, low-leverage swing trade, I would personally be holding that, right? But if you were in a short-term little leverage trade, you were pretty decently high leverage, or up 300%, so probably sounds like you're using a pretty decent amount of leverage. Maybe you just want to take your profits and walk away and go wait for the next trade, right? So it's really going to be up to you. I'm not a financial advisor. I can't tell you what to do with your trades, but that's what I would do, right? A swing trade I'd be holding, expecting an eventual breakout of this range. And then, if it was a shorter term trade and I was just looking to, if I'm a 30x long from this POC, I'd probably be at least taking profits and moving my stop loss to my entry. Remember that. You don't always have to pull out of the whole trade, right? You don't have to just ditch it. You could always take some partial profits that you're happy with and then move your stop loss to break even. And then as long as you're okay with price coming back down and stopping you out for the amount of profit that you already took, take that guaranteed win, right? Sleep well at night. If not, if it's a lower leverage trade, I'd be willing to hold this through some more turbulence based off the fresh money flow on some of these higher time frames, looking like they want to start a bigger trend to the upside. And then we also have targets up here towards about 950 and even 1664 if Filecoin starts to get moving. And Filecoin's still, in my opinion, pretty cheap buy down here. Never getting a breakout of its original bear market range. Pretty strong project to not have gotten a breakout like that. So could be a strong buy for me, in my opinion, for me to buy, not for you guys to buy, for me to buy. But anyway, that's what I'd be looking at on Filecoin. So shout out, hopefully that helps you out, Hypnotize. But again, short-term pullbacks are not impossible. And that short-term pullback, in my opinion, like if it starts to get pretty brutal, could be bringing you down to the POC or even to revisit this kind of range down here towards the value area low, 786 confluence, right? So these are kind of the two levels that I would be looking for pullbacks into because, again, 16-hour money flow coming out, red dot looking to print, bearish divergence about to confirm, right? VWAP coming down. Once that red dot prints, you'll start printing a bearish divergence. It's not going to be confirmed, but you will be printing it, right? So that's going to probably call for a pullback. But the question is, how big will you pull back? In my opinion, like worst case scenario, this golden pocket or this 786 value area low. Best case scenario, if this money flow crossover on the 16-hour is nothing to worry about and you're just going to come back up into the green, I would potentially look for a pullback to the 786 at about $4.89 before putting in a higher low and continuing back up. But that's basically how I would be handling that. Other than that, I'd be like not impossible to pull back short term, but long term, Again, like hasn't broken out of its like. Look at these other coins that have broken out of their bear market ranges, guys. Like look where Filecoin is, right? Been ranging down here forever, hasn't gotten a move out. But look at a lot of these other altcoins. Look at Chainlink, guys. Chainlink was stuck in this range forever. Chainlink was stuck right here in this bear market range forever. And it would not leave. And this is kind of where Filecoin looks like it's at right now. Now, I'm not saying it's very likely to break out or anything, but money flow would call for a likely breakout to at some point to come in soon. But you could see Chainlink like crept up here, tap that value. This is kind of that exact thing I'm talking about, right? You come up to that value area high, right? Let me extend this over a little bit. You come up to that value area high, you get sucked back into the POC, and then you finally get the breakout. So just understand, Filecoin is still kind of sitting down here. It doesn't guarantee a breakout, but still not a horrible buy for me. Not for you. It could go to zero. Who knows? But that's kind of how I'd be handling. So shout out to Hypnotize. Thank you for the super chat. And hopefully that helps you out. Shout out to Matt P. Said, what do you think about the end of year tax harvesting drop coming in? Shout out to Matt P. This is something everybody talks about every year. And it's a real thing, right? Like people, if you guys don't know about tax harvesting, basically you could save on taxes by selling all your crypto really quickly and then buying it all back. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm not a financial advisor, tax professional. I don't know if it's illegal or not, but a lot of people do it, right? So don't take it from me. I'm not a financial advisor, not financial advice, but a lot of people do that to save money on taxes. But it could affect the markets, right? But typically, I will say I do feel like it has way less of an effect as people always expect it to. But you never know. It doesn't mean that it's just always going to affect it a little bit, right? One day you could have it affect it really bad, right? Yeah, it is something we always keep an eye on. As far as my long-term investment plan, it doesn't change anything for me. Maybe on my smaller trades, which I don't really trade that much around the holidays, obviously, because we're all busy. I don't really take it too much into account. I pay attention to it, but I don't really pay it too much attention, if that makes sense. But shout out to Matt. Thank you for the super chat. But yeah, that's totally a real thing, and it totally affects the price. But I don't expect it to I don't think that's going to be the black swan that brings us down to a potential macro 786 back in the 20s, right, for Bitcoin. So just if that's maybe what you're asking. Like, I'm not looking at this as like, oh my God, all these idiots are long in Bitcoin. Meanwhile, the tax harvesting is I'm not thinking of it like that, but it could affect the price for sure. Definitely a real thing. And we talked about that with Carlton Dennis when he came on. He's a tax professional that we had come on and talk to you guys because he can give you advice. I can't. So shout out to Carlton Dennis and shout out to Matt P. Thank you for that super chat. And shout out to Ian. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He said the doctor advised Frankie Candle Sauce sessions twice daily during the weekends and once daily during weekdays and once daily during the weekends. What's up? Shout out to Ian. Thank you for tuning in, bro. And yeah, we're here. We've been giving you the Sunday Sauce live a few weeks in a row here. I'm actually liking, I really like doing these lives, guys, because it's like, it's a lot easier than a pre-record for me. And I feel like, if I don't have a really saucy tutorial for you guys where I really feel like I can spit that hard value on you guys, Dave, I know. Shout out to Dave Digital. I walked into that. I'm sorry. Shout out to Dave. But, if I feel like I can't really spit some serious value to you guys, I'd rather come up live and talk to you guys in chat and just talk to you about what I'm thinking about the markets. I feel like that gives a ton of value. So, but let's see. Shout out to Darren Dusting says, yeah, Dave D, if they sell now to harvest, it's capital gain central. Yeah, shout out to Darren Does Things. But yeah, let's see. Shout out to 12 Big said it's found some support in the, at the 42 area. Yeah, for sure. Like we are definitely just kind of consolidating here, just kind of bouncing in this local range. But again, like I said, remember, like if you guys are not looking at a liquidation heat map or a liquidation chart, shout out to G Money. Thank you for getting that, or thank you for that super sticker. I appreciate you. Hopefully you didn't mean to put text in there. But shout out to you. Thank you for the super chat or super sticker. I appreciate you. Let's see. ICP. Shout out to Elite Ways. ICP will be the last thing we look at today. So shout out to Elite Ways. I got you, homie. And I'm my hero. Shouting out C3 or Crimson Caravan Company. What is going on, Crimson Caravan Company? But remember, guys, keep an eye on this heat map. If you again, let me spit a little bit more value to you guys, right? Or this isn't. I'm not going to teach you something, but if you guys are interested, if these liquidation levels are interesting to you guys and you've seen how we use these and you're thinking about wanting to use them, right? This is a paid service, right? This is High Block Capital. They are still doing a limited time 60% off sale. I thought this was just for Black Friday, but they're extending this out. They do have a really good sale. I think we have an affiliate link. We may not. If not, I'm just saying I use this a lot, guys. But here's the thing. There is also, if you're not ready to spend money, there are some free tools you can use to find very similar information. Now, I don't use CoinGlass a lot, but I've heard very good things about CoinGlass's free liquidation level chart. So you can find these similar liquidation levels on something called CoinGlass. So if you guys want to look that up, check them out. It's a completely free tool that you can use. If you want something more intuitive, like a heat map or an actual trading view liquidation chart that you can move around, you could check out High Block Capital. Like I said, you could get a discount with our link, or just taking advantage of that 60% sale if you don't use a link. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at, right? Like, let's turn back on the liquidations. Like, I'm paying attention to where the liquidations are for the day trades, at least, which I don't typically day trade on the weekends. But basically what I'll be doing is trying to find those medium and high leverage liquidation levels and seeing what kind of reaction we get at those levels to see if there's a high likelihood reaction, right? So if we come back up, simply put, while keeping these liquidation levels in mind, simply put, like, the levels remain the same as Friday's live stream, right? We've rejected the golden pocket as we expected, right? Low key, there were a few people in chat, some random people that I've never seen before coming here talking trash that we weren't going to reject that golden pocket, and then we got that little bing bong to the downside. But anyway, if we continue up, we still have this purple box here, 786 value area high. I believe this is a fresh daily level sitting here between next level of resistance 44,181, 43,761, and then it's not until we get above these levels that I'll be looking up towards the next target at 46K. Shout out to Trade Made. Thank you for that super chat, bro. I appreciate you so much, bro. You do not have to send these super chats, but I do appreciate it. By the way, Trade Made, I've said this to you 100 times. Super jealous that you thought of that name before I did, because Trade Made is sick. God, that on a license plate, bro. Come on, dude. Shout out to Trade Made. Said, Frankie the GOAT, give me some bing bong on Solana real quick. What do we say? ICP and Solana. Okay, we're going to do speed runs on ICP and Solana, guys, and then we're going to hop out of here. Taking a quick look at ICP. Let's check it. So ICP going to about $1 million by tomorrow. And you heard that first here on the Frank Candles YouTube channel. I'm just kidding, guys, obviously. But let me see. Let me pull up the actual ICP chart that we want to see. Let's see. Binance. Where's our current chart here? Old. I know we got one here. Bybit? Nope. Old. Mexi? Old. It's actually just nothing on that chart. Let's see. Binance US dollar? Nope. Do we not have an ICP chart? What's going on? Coinbase? Is this it? This is not it. That can't be it. Let's see. We'll try one more before we start from zero here. It wasn't the BingX chart, was it? All right. Well, forget it. We'll just go ahead and we'll go ahead and we'll do it. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. That stinks, man, because ICP's been pumping. I wonder what we were looking at. Does anybody remember what we were looking at? Frankie, you said it was going to zero. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, all right, so let's take a look here. All right, so next level I would be looking at on ICP, we may have actually, we did not interact with that level yet. But if you're looking at this volume profile right here, go ahead and turn this neutral. This would be kind of the next major level I'd be looking at. This value area low, right? Come on, give me the value area low. This value area low right here at 1567 is going to be the next key level, right? Now, if we pull up the VPVR, you guys can see, right? Pretty low volume once you broke out of the value area high. This is this is the situation a lot of these coins have been in, right? They break out of the value area high, low volume gap into your next area of consolidation, which happens to be right here. We have a little bit of a step up in volume at 1060. But once you get above this level, guys, I will be looking up towards this value area low, because once you get above this level, you could be looking up towards about $21.27 for ICP. But nice little breakout, right? Like I said, ICP was one of those coins that was late to break its bear market range, right? So we've been kind of hanging out down here for quite some time, and then finally we're getting a break out of the bear market range, which is a very, very good sign, right? So we get above this, flip some of these levels to support. We could easily be coming up to this next target for ICP, and then, I mean, you start zooming out on ICP, it becomes very apparent that, there's not, it's kind of hard to see just because of the way price is, because of the way this chart is, but pretty quick moves down here, right? Let me see if I can pull up a chart with a little bit more price history. Yeah. So you can see here, analyzing the volume, zoom out a bit, right? So low volume, your next, come on. There you go. High volume node right here at about 17, 18. Very similar to the area we were looking at on this range. So yeah, about $17 is that value area low. That's where I would be watching next. You have a spike in volume there, but once you leave this value area, next high volume node, like up here in the 40s for the most part. Man, I hate that all that volume gets gigantic like that. Okay, there we go. So yeah, then the next, after that, like next real range I would look for on ICP would be right here. So these are kind of the two zones I would be looking for ICP to come up into, would be, again, between $17 and $23, very similar to the range we just looked at before. And then once you break out above there, your next real high volume node is not all the way up until this POC at 41.98. So these are the two zones. Look at the volume, guys. Like, again, like you bing bong around, you build all this volume down here, you break out of that high volume node into the low volume gap, very likely that you wind up coming up to this area. You flip that value area low, likely to come to the value area high. You decisively break out of here, your next high volume node is the POC. Now, I'm not saying it's going to look like this, going straight up like that, right? You could easily range around down here a little bit and then get a pop up to here and then come down and then come back up, range around in here, right? We're not expecting it to be just a clean shot up, but that's kind of, for the most part, like what I would be expecting, right? Resistance here, resistance here. Not a lot of resistance, and then your next big level of resistance up there. So that's what I'm looking at ICP, and hopefully this visual representation of like where the volume is and where these next zones are helps you guys clearly see where that next resistance is going to be. So there you go. And this is how, guys, like a lot of these coins, like I know there's a lot of people out there, it's like, how does this guy know where these coins are going? And I like, listen, guys, I like to tell Mrs. Candles, like, I'm a genius, right? Like as far as she knows, like I'm the smartest guy on the planet. But guys, like a lot of these other coins, we've been able to predict their moves based off these volume profiles. Why did we expect Chainlink to come up here? Well, we knew that we had not a lot of volume here, and our next high volume node was right here. This is how we expected Chainlink to get up here, right? It wasn't just us calling for random levels. So we knew it was going to be a quick move, likely through this low volume gap up to our next high volume node where that last value area high was, right? Very similar to ICP. Come on, what just happened? Where did our ICP chart go? All right, well, I'll have to pull it up manually. But just like that, on Chainlink, guys, very, very similar situation here on ICP, where I'll just draw the zones fresh again, right? Where we know that there's consolidation here, and then that next area consolidation is up here, right? So you can look for same thing, right? You're looking to come up to those previous value area lows, and then as you flip those, you know that you're likely to open the door to higher prices. So that's ICP. Let's go. Let's see. Shout out to Elite Ways said, yeah, baby. Shout out. Glad I held and accumulated ICP. Yeah, and I want to be clear. Like, I'm not saying that it is guaranteed that this thing's going to rip up to $80, but I'm just saying if the uptrend continues, which again, based off market cipher, doesn't look too unlikely with the money flow crossing over into the green on the higher time frames. But you never know, right? Like I just want to be clear, like still could go to zero. Like who knows? Like don't just buy this based off of what I say. But that is basically what I'm looking at on ICP. And again, money flow on the higher time frames looking pretty good. And then let's really quick shout out to Tampa Bay Buckeye said, Frankie, show us that fresh fade. Shout out to you, bro. This is actually a 1 week old fade here. I also did not put anything, I didn't brush my hair at all today. I can't even see myself on screen, so maybe I look like a lunatic with my hair sticking up. I don't know, but should we rock no hat for the rest of the stream? Let's see. Oh, there we go. Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. Not too bad for a Sunday. Sundays for the sauce. You guys know that. But let's continue on here. Taking a look at, what was it? ICP and what was the other one? Hey, shout out to my dad in the chat. What is going on, Dad? He said, yo, let's go. Where'd he go? He said, hey, buddy, I'm here for the Sunday macaroni. Let's go. Shout out to my dad, guys. Show some respect to the actual godfather of the charts, and that's my dad. And we're not talking about the godfather in chat. We're talking about like my actual father, the real godfather. Shout out to my dad. But there we go. Showing some respect in the chat, guys. Like I said, guys, I'm telling you right now, you guys, I told you, I get it from my dad, guys. I told you that. My dad is the my dad is the OG candle man. I'm telling you that right now. But anyway, let's continue on. What did we say? We said ICP, and the other one was Solana. That's right. Crypto Crabman, thank you for reminding me that. Solana. Let's go ahead and take a look at Solana on the Coinbase chart. And obviously, this one has been marked up, guys. And I will say, like, again, we were looking on Solana. Like, how did we know? And the reason I bring this up is because weeks ago, right, or months ago, when we were looking at a lot of these altcoins to make moves to higher prices, there were very specific levels we looked at as a stair step to higher prices, and it had a lot to do with the value areas, right? Once we started knocking on this value area low, and this is applicable to any time frame you're looking at. If you can get a volume profile and get the 3 levels of your value area low, POC, and value area high, you are going to have a clear roadmap of where price is likely to go. Imagine, right? And if you watch the show, you guys will know that we were looking at this. Once you come up to this value area low right here at 29.67, you get a little bit of a rejection, but you know at this point, if you get accepted above this value area low, it is going to open the door, and the next likely place for price to go is going to be the POC, which you obviously see we came up to and rejected a couple times. And once you get above that POC, you're expecting to come up to your value area high. And it's not because I'm the best trader, I'm the best analyst, or anything like that. It has everything to do with the volume profiles. And just like we were looking at an ICP, knocking on the door or approaching that value area low, once you flip it, you expect to fill the whole range. Same thing we were looking at on Bitcoin as well, right? All the way up on our macro range, right? Same exact thing, and I will say this till I'm blue in the face because it's going to likely make a lot of people money once you understand it. You knock on the value area low, you expect that whole range to get filled, and again, Bitcoin ending at 48 to 50K. So are we going to get up there? Potentially, but not guaranteed. No guarantees here. I'm not a financial advisor, guys. I could be wrong. But anyway, this is basically how we've been predicting Solana as well, right? Just looking from value area to value area, and we've just filled all the ranges. And right now, I know these levels are getting pretty clogged up. I have to clean up this chart, but you can see, right? Naked points of control were all hit, right? We $70, came back up, tapped this MPOC almost perfectly at about 77.64. But what are we doing, guys? We talked about this the other day. We are approaching another value area. So now we again know that if we come up and we test this level, and we are now at risk, right? Not risk, but we now have the opportunity to break into this range. Once you hold this range of support, it's likely to come to your POC and then fill your range all the way to the value area high, getting close to $107. Now, guys, like, it feels like 2 days ago that Solana was going to zero. Like, does anyone even remember when Solana went to zero? Like, Solana literally went almost to zero, right? Went to $8 from all the way from $260. Right? So like, shout out to anybody who's buying Solana down here. I actually DCA'd into Solana right here. It all went to zero. I bought some more Solana on 3x leveraged tokens on Solana at the bottom and made all my money back up, a plus profit on the bounce to the upside, guys. Solana was caught up in bad news. Solana, in my opinion, is not dead, guys. We've made videos about this a while ago when everyone still thought Solana was dead, and I'm not saying this because I'm saying I was right. I could have been wrong. Solana could die still. I don't know. But I'm just saying, when you look at these projects, Solana still building through the entire bear market, still hustling through the whole bear market. They have the Solana phone, which I am very openly skeptical of. Like, I think that's going to be a complete flop. I don't know why they would try to compete in a industry that's heavily dominated by 2 of the biggest companies literally on earth. So I don't think Solana phone's going to be a big thing, but it just shows that they're trying to build, right? And they're innovating, and they're making new things, and they're always improving and building through the bear market, which is a clear sign that this project is not dead, right? And one of the number one things, I was talking to somebody IRL about this recently, and one of the biggest things that makes me bullish on Solana was when you talk to people who are like, really into these little interacting with the networks and everything. People love Solana. Every time I talk to somebody we have a couple of I have a couple of DGen friends that are just like always trying to get always interacting with all the chains and really in the tech, right? They love using Solana. They're like, I like Solana. It's easy to use. It's fast. I don't have any real troubles with it. I know it's like a meme that their network is always down, and I get it. But these are things that are fixable, right? And they're still continuing to build, which is a big reason why I didn't think Solana was going to die. And here it is, making a comeback. Now, will it make new all-time highs? I don't know, right? I'm not going to sit up here and pretend like I know something, right? I don't know. But I do think if they continue to build, I think there is going to be a strong chance that Solana comes back. I mean, guys, Solana is up right now. Solana is up right now from the bear market bottom about almost 1,000% from the bear market low in a bear market still, technically, right? So shout out to Solana. I don't think it's dead, and I do think it is definitely possible. As long as you crack that value area low at $80, flip it to support, it's going to be pretty more likely than not that you will see $100 plus Solana. Not financial advice. I could be wrong, but again, it's an if this then that statement, right? Solana could go to zero from here, but if we flip that $80 level to support, that's your key level to open up the door to more upside, potentially targeting $91 to $107 on Solana. And then as far as market cipher goes, I will say locally, you're probably going to bing bong around a little bit, right? Red dot on your daily 16-hour VWAP coming down, money flow or VWAP rolling back to the upside, but your money flow consistently coming out here. So nothing really screaming to me that this thing is about to yeet to $100 instantly. So maybe I would expect some kind of consolidation here, but really you have your point of interest here, right? Your $80 value area low is the key level you have to flip to support for more upside Solana, and that is what we're looking at on Solana. So there you go, guys. I think that is all the time we got for tonight's or today's. I keep wanting to say premium live stream, but guys, that's all we got for today's Sunday Sauce live stream. Don't forget. Sundays are for sauce, baby. Shout out to my mom for this t-shirt. And shout out to the Godfather, not my dad. My dad is the actual Godfather in the chat, but the Godfather, meaning D.Godfather in the chat, that's his name. Shout out to the Godfather, says, Frankie's father is my brother, Don Fredo. Yo, shout out to the Godfather. Let's go. And there you guys go. I mean, I didn't say they didn't know each other. I just said make sure you know the difference between the Godfather and the Godfather. Shout out to you guys, but shout out to my dad. Thank you for tuning in, Dad. And maybe one day I could be as good of a trader as you. But yeah, guys, thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Like I said, watch out, a little bit of bing bonging on Bitcoin, but now you guys have the key levels. And not only that, but my trading plan, or for the most part, my trading plan and how I'm handling this price action going forward into our next trading week, starting tomorrow. And with all that being said, I'll see you guys tomorrow, same place, same time, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frank Candles YouTube channel. But with all that being said, that's all we got. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
I ain't tryna see your hand out. No freebies, better pay out. Y'all so cheap.
Okay, we back now. It's been a minute, foot is on the gas now. Ain't no limits, I swear I can never cap out. Yeah, they don't let me loose, I'ma act out. Cause I'm back out. Whoa, look, I'm back now. Back now. Somebody tell them that we back now. Somebody tell them that we, yeah. I got the city on my shoulder, straight to the top, yeah. I told you I never try what I'm holding, yeah. I got the team with me. We gotta go and we on a roll, so we never see defeat. Yeah, lights still shine even when the world's dark, and I still stride even when it gets harder. We stayed steady since the day that we started. No, we ain't stopping, I know we got it. Look, we back now. It's been a minute, foot is on the gas now. Ain't no limits, I swear I can never cap out. Yeah, they don't let me loose, I'ma act out. Cause I'm back out. Whoa, look, I'm back now. Somebody tell them that we back now. Somebody tell them that we back now.
All right, let's run it back, guys. Somebody asked for Celestia in the chat, and it was a super chat, and I don't want to leave those super chats hanging. I appreciate them very much. That one just slipped right by me. Who was it? Hang on, let me just check who it was so I can shout him out real quick. Let's see. Shout out to, it was G-Money. Shout out to G-Money. No problem, brother. Hopefully you're still here. If not, somebody go get G-Money, get him back in here, because we're going to take a look at Celestia, which is actually forming a pretty nice range right now, guys. So as we're taking a look here on the lower time frames, we are getting a little bit of consolidation. We have a nice value area here with the lows getting respected, highs getting respected consistently. This is what I personally like to see. And we are now testing the lows once again, right? And you came above the highs, sucked back into the range, back to the low. Deviate from the low, back to the POC, back to the high, deviation, back to the POC, back to the low, deviation, back to the POC, back to the high, deviation, back to the POC, back to the low. You're seeing a pattern here, guys. And do you see why we trade these volume profiles? They are extremely, extremely reliable. But it doesn't mean that we're guaranteed to get a bounce here. However, here's the thing. Let's take a look at some of the higher time frames, right? Take a look at the daily. No price history on the daily. Take a look at the 16-hour. VWAP below the zero line. Money flow starting to come out. 10-hour VWAP coming up. So let me get my bearings here. I should have looked at this while the music was playing, but we're taking a look at this live together. So this looks like it could be a blood diamond, if I'm being honest. There it is. So 5-hour blood diamond printing. Let's check it on the Heikinashis, because remember, Market Cipher was designed for Heikinashi candles, I believe. So you actually do not have it here on your Heikinashis, but you do have it here on your regular candles. So you do have your blood diamond here on the 5-hour. Let's check the 4-hour. I don't know how that is not a blood diamond, but yeah, so you are getting some signs of potential weakness here, guys, at this level of resistance. Money flow coming out on your 6-hour. Let's check the 2-hour. Yeah, 2-hour blood diamond confirmed. Yikes. Money flow coming out. Let's check the 1-hour. Money flow coming out as well. Yeah, so honestly, like, there's no real, like, saucy setups for a short here, to be quite honest with you guys. As you know, I do not like to short the lows, right? You don't want to short as you're coming to support. You want to short the highs, right? The short setup was up here, or up here. But so not really, in my opinion, time to short. I would not be looking to short this right now, but doesn't mean it's going to come down. But when I mean I don't want to short this, it doesn't mean that I don't think it's going to come down. It just means that I'm not willing to risk entering a short at support and then getting a retracement and getting stopped out of that position before finally dumping, right? So for me, these are the key levels I'd be looking at on Celestia, right? I would just simply be looking at this as a range, right? Now, if you break this range and you dump, I accept the fact that I would just miss that trade, right? And if you find yourself like, well, no, I want to know if it's going to dump or not because I want to get into the short right now. You're forcing trades. Don't force trades. You're going to lose money. I promise you that. I forced trades for a very long time. I don't say that because I'm better than you and I know more. I just say that because I've gotten wrecked thinking like that before. And I thought that everyone else was, no, they don't. Trust me. I'll just get in. Trust me. You're going to lose money. I can almost guarantee you that, right? So do not just short support. And you can see we're already getting a pop up here a little bit, right? That's why you don't want to short support. Now, again, not impossible to just nuke through this, right? You could, but I'm willing to just miss that trade. Whatever. I'll go get another trade. It's no big deal. We have thousands of coins, right? So always another opportunity. Don't chase trades that are low probability, right? So for me, I'd be looking at these levels. Value area low, POC, value area high. And anyone who's confused about that, it is simply the low and the high of the range, value area low, value area high. It's the low and the high of the range. The POC oftentimes falls somewhere in the middle of the range, but it does move, right? Because these levels are based off of volume, and they move up and down as price action develops. I know a lot of people probably get confused by this. They might be like, well, how come when I look at my levels, they're different? It's because as price action develops, look at your value area high. Oh, wait, hang on. Stop. No, hang on. I'm trying to spit sauce here. We got to extend to the right. If your range is extended to the right, guys, let's come back in time. You could see the levels actually move. So if you're wondering why your levels might be off, look at the value area high. It moves as price action develops. Why is that? It's because these levels are derived from volume. So as volume is traded, the amount of volume transacted at every price level is changing, right? Making those levels move, if that makes sense to you, right? So these are the key levels I'd be looking at. I'd be looking at this as a simple range, right? Value area low, POC, value area high. So for me, if we don't get some kind of retracement in here, back up to the POC or value area high, which again, is that likely to come up here? I don't know. I would consider it lucky with the way the charts are looking right now. So if you can get a push up into this golden pocket or 786, I would be looking for a potential short position, right? You could also look at this fib pulled from the actual swing high up here all the way to the low. Actually, yeah, I would also be looking at this, right? So you also have a bigger 786 sitting up here, and I would actually just extend this. So these are the two zones I would be looking to potentially, if I were looking to short this, I would wait to come into this purple box or maybe even this purple box before a move down. If we come down from here, fine. I'll miss the move. No big deal. I take high probability trades. I don't just gamble trying to get into these like random shorts because I'm FOMOing in, right? And then even look at Market Cipher, right? 30-minute VWAP coming up. Let's check the 2-hour. Yeah, the blood diamonds are going to, if this 1-hour VWAP comes up, there are reasons to get a bounce here. So I wouldn't be FOMOing in. And if it does dump, I'll miss the trade. So these are the levels I'm looking at. First zone is going to be sitting between 1411 and 1370, and then your second or your 786 is sitting at about 14. We'll just call it 1441. So if we don't come back up there, I wouldn't be looking for a short. But these are the key levels I'd be looking at on Celestia. So shout out to G Money. Hopefully that helps you out, and hopefully you were still in chat as we went over that. I didn't want to leave you hanging there, bro. But with all that being said, guys, that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. I'll see you guys tomorrow, same place. Different time, 5:45 that time. 5:45 tomorrow, same place, same time, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's all I got. Have a good weekend. Go touch some grass if you guys haven't yet this weekend. That's all I got. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand, like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top